Welcome to the Chapter 5 mini-lecture on forming a business. Before we get started, I want to elaborate on the difference between forming and starting a business. Initially, they may sound the same, but they are dramatically different. When you form a business, you are setting up an entity. You are actually creating something that was not there before. Now, when you start a business, you make the business organizationally viable and prepare it to meet the needs of its target market. Now, before you decide to form or create a business, you have to make some decisions relating to the business. Who is going to be involved in the business? Is it going to be a one-man operation that only you will operate and own? Is it going to be a business in which your family will participate? Are you going to keep it small? Or will you have employees involved? Are you going to incorporate subcontractors to meet your labor demands? All of these questions will help you to start the brainstorming process of how you should form your business. Now, another question involves your product or the service you're offering. What will you sell? Does the product or service have an inherent liability from which you need to protect yourself? Let's say that you sell lawn care equipment that can malfunction and cause injury. In that instance, you would want to form your business in a way that would protect your personal assets. You wouldn't want to risk your child's college education or your family's home in a lawsuit against the company. Another consideration is whether or not the employees are working with you. Employees can expose you to additional liabilities in terms of workplace injuries, errors, and emissions. Will the product require you to have a high operating cost and high liability to suppliers? All of these considerations, among others, can have an impact on how you form your business. Now, the location of your business can also have an impact on its formation. Is your business going to operate in the local area, out of your home, from one location? Will that location be open to the public, where personal injury is a possibility? If you have more than one location, that increases your risks and your responsibilities. It also increases your cost. If your company will operate nationwide, now you're talking about numerous distribution points, hundreds or thousands of employees, possibly suppliers and vendors on site, and you would not want to have a separate legal entity in every state in which you operate. So consider whether or not your endeavor will be a small business that you will keep permanently, or if it will be an entrepreneurial venture. An entrepreneurial venture is basically a business with a focus on growth with the intention of selling it off quickly at a high profit. Now, as an overview, there are three types of ownership, and the book goes into these in great detail. The sole proprietorship, which is one person, a partnership, two or more co-owners, and a corporation, a separate legal entity that is owned by the stockholders. Now, overall, sole proprietors make up the largest portion of active businesses, and in comparison, though, corporations make up the largest portion of all total business receipts. So even though there are more sole proprietorships in terms of numbers, corporations make more money. Now, corporations have a formal management structure that includes the business owners or the stockholders, and the stockholders elect the board of directors, who makes the decisions relating to whom will be running the company. Their responsibility is to represent the stockholders in the management of the company and protect the assets of the company. They are also responsible for making sure that the stockholders receive a return on their investment. Now, the board of directors hires the C-suite, and the C-suite is the CEO, CFO, COO, and all those officers that start with a C. And their compensation is set by the board of directors, and they serve to meet the objectives set by the board and to earn money for the stockholders. Now, management is established under the C-suite with employees serving under the management structure. And as you can see in this diagram, the hierarchy is very structured and defined. And since the stockholders are the actual owners of the company, they are the ones to whom profits are paid. Now, with corporations being the largest portion of revenue-generating companies, some of the largest corporations include Walmart, ExxonMobil, Chevron, ConocoPhillips, Fannie Mae, and every year the list changes. And if you want to know what some of the current rankings are in corporate America, you can refer to the Forbes list, and Forbes will rank companies by revenues and even numbers of employees, and of course they also rank people in terms of wealth, and you can visit the Forbes site at Forbes.com. Now, there is a trend toward home-based businesses, and this slide lists some of the most successful home-based businesses. And you will notice that each one of these home-based businesses renders services or provide products that a single person or family can efficiently offer. Now, by going to the All Businesses website, you can get some additional suggestions on potential businesses for home-based operators. You just click on the website, and then you can scroll through the top 10 home-based businesses. Oh, get rid of the ad. The 10 low-cost small business ideas. This is a good website for getting general information on your home-based businesses. Now, for additional information on forming a business, you can visit the economic development site for the state in which you're considering operating a business. You can also visit the city government websites and the Virginia State Corporation Commission.